Yo guys, next up we have the updated car setup for Suzuka in Japan. And again, this is another circuit which I absolutely love. Now this updated setup, I have lightened the rear of the car a little bit. So your car will feel probably a little bit more oversteer happy than it was in the pre-update setup. But if you can control it well, it will allow you to maximize your lap time and you'll be incredibly fast around here. But looking at the Aero, I've gone 28 on the front wing, which is the same as what we had before, but I've lowered the rear wing down to 31. And then for the transmission, I've kept on-throttle diff the same at 60%, and I've actually lowered the off-throttle diff down to 52% a little bit more rotation. So with the Aero and transmission, we're going to be getting the front of the car turned into corners a little bit better than with our previous setup. For the suspension geometry, I've kept the front camber at -2.9, I've adjusted the rear camber slightly right to -1.2, then I've kept the front toe the same at 0.06, and I've actually removed some rear toe right down to 0.2. For the suspension, I've softened the front a little bit, going down to 6 instead of 8 in our previous setup, kept the rear suspension at 2, and then I've also softened the front anti-roll bar down to 7, and I've bumped up the rear anti-roll bar up to 4. So this setup change will actually make the rear a little bit more lively and a little bit more willing to kind of not step out on you, but rotate the car a little bit more. And then for the ride height, I bumped the front ride height up to 5 because you'll be hitting quite a few curbs around here, so you want to have a little bit of clearance, a little bit of stability over the curbs. And I've kept the rear ride height also at 5. Brakes, I almost don't need to say at this point, 100% pressure, 50% brake bias. And then tyres themselves, I've lowered front and rear tyre pressures to help keep temperatures in check. Your tyre pressures, especially through those S's at the beginning of the lap in that first sector, will skyrocket your tyre temperatures. So drop your front pressures all the way down to 23.0, and if you drive aggressively, you may even need to drop this one more click left. But for the rear tyre pressures, I've also lowered them down to 21.3 as well. This gave me a pretty balanced setup throughout the whole race, and I was just kind of teetering on 98, 99 degrees on the fronts during a long race stint, which is perfectly okay and almost exactly where you want your tyre pressures to be. Let me know in the comments below how you find this setup, and if it works well for you, hit that like button on this video, as that will really help other people see this video. Also subscribe if you want to see more F1 22 content in the future. But for now guys, I'll see you on track.